What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I'd love to talk about all things Peloton cycling and fitness. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post every single Sunday, and today's video is a fun one. I always love doing these ranking videos. I'm going to be ranking the indoor tread Peloton instructors 1 through 19, all the English speaking instructors. I've already done this on the bike twice, and I've done strength instructors. So, I just like ranking. I like sitting down and thinking about who I like and who I dislike and why. I will say, I feel like in general, I actually like a lot of the indoor tread instructors. That's true across all categories of Peloton. Like, I think the instructors are pretty good, but I think even more on tread, there's like very few instructors that I actively avoid or dislike. But I also kind of feel like a lot of the tread instructors like blur in my head. Like, a lot of them have really similar vibes, while especially on the bike, I feel like people really try to make themselves unique from each other, which I just thought was interesting. So I don't know, let me know what you think, or if you think that I just am like grouping them together in my head. Like, I definitely group some of the bike instructors together as well, but it just feels like a lot of the tread instructors are very, very similar to each other. So I'm gonna start at the bottom and I'll work my way up. Some people I have reasons for, some people it's kind of more a little hand wavy. I will preface this saying that obviously my favorite instructor could be your least favorite instructor and vice versa. It's all very personal. All these instructors are definitely very qualified and very good instructors to even be on Peloton. Like, Peloton doesn't hire bad instructors. So don't take too much offense if your favorite is not my number one. So coming in at number 19 is Jocelyn Thompson. And the reason why she's last on my list is honestly, I do not like the structure of her classes. You'll see this as a pattern, but I definitely gravitate towards instructors that are way more regimented. Like, if you tell me the entire class in the first minute of the class, I guarantee I will like you. And if it like all lines up perfectly, I'll like you even more. I feel like with Jocelyn, the runs that I've taken have all been like kind of chaotic, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not really for me, and for that reason I like don't gravitate towards her runs at all. I like a plan. I like a solid plan. I like to know what we're doing, and I like it to like be the same. And I know that might make me a little bit boring, but that's why she's last. And if you like chaotic people and you like want to be surprised while you're running, maybe check her out. You might like her a lot. Then coming in at number 18 is Olivia Amato. I actually love Olivia Amato for outdoor runs, but it just does not translate for indoor runs. I feel this way about her on the bike as well. She's just way too dang hard for me. I know some people get motivated, I guess, when the intervals are like really, really high, or if you're just like a really top class athlete, maybe those intervals are correct for you. But I find myself struggling on almost every run. Usually I feel like there's not enough recovery, and the intervals are obviously like very, very hard. So I do really like her music choices, and I enjoy her personality. Like, I like her outdoor runs because in the outdoor runnings, they don't give you a speed, they give you like a perceived feeling. So it's harder to make those hard, if that makes sense. So I like her outdoor runs, but her indoor runs are just way too hard for me. I don't do well when I can't hit the intervals. Like, that demotivates me a lot, and then I like stop pushing myself as hard. So she's someone that I would never like choose to take a run from indoors, just because I know that it won't be motivating to me. So she is pretty far down on the list, but I will say her music choices are really great. She plays a lot of EDM, and I do really like the EDM. I just am not a fan of the hard classes. Then in number 17 is Rebecca Kennedy. And for her, she's not good and she's not bad. She's just so middle of the road. She's almost too boring for me. I don't know if I just haven't taken good runs from her. Definitely let me know if you like her. Like, what are your favorite runs from her? What do you like about her? I just feel like every time I take a run, I go into it thinking like, this is going to be solidly okay. And then it is solidly okay. Like, nothing bad happens, but nothing good happens. So that's why she's low on my list. Let me know. I'd love to take some classes from her that, would make me change my mind. Like, that's true for everybody on this list, no matter what the ranking is. Let me know what your favorite runs are, because I feel like those are always the best when I get like subscriber recommendations. They're usually on point. I'm going to group number 15 and number 16 together. Number 15 is Selena and number 16 is Susie Chen. And I like both of them, but I think that they're inconsistent. Sometimes I take runs from them and I'm like, oh my gosh, this was amazing, like new favorite run, like I love this instructor. And then sometimes I take classes from them and I was like, this is just not my vibe. I'm not having a good time. Like I want this to end. So I think that they rate higher than like people that don't really interest me or like I don't have any good runs with, but they're just super inconsistent that it makes me hesitant to take runs from them when I know there's other instructors I like that have a way higher percentage chance of like me enjoying the class. Like my top instructors, I like 99% of the content they come out with. And I'd say Selena and Susie, I like 50 to 60% of the content that they came up with. I'm definitely not closed off from taking classes from them. I just feel like, you know, it's a little bit more of a risky choice. And then number 14 is Jess King. And Jess King is actually one of my favorite instructors on the bike. I think she's in my top 3. I really, really love her personality. I just feel like compared to the bike, she's just way better on the bike. I feel like you can tell when instructors cross-train, like which one is their favorite. And I just feel like Jess is really, really fun on the bike and she's fun on the tread. And I do like that she is pretty like no nonsense and she is like fun and quirky and like has a great personality. But at the end of the day, like, you know, if you take a class with her, you're going to get the work in, which is really important to me. I just feel like her heart is not totally there for running. So that's why she's kind of low. But honestly, like now that we've hit this point, I really like or love like everybody ahead of me. I like a lot of the Peloton tread instructors basically. So it was really hard to start ranking people starting here. I'll then group number 12 and 13 together. Number 12 is Maddie Magiacomo. Number 13 is Andy Spears. And I group them together because they're both just like fun, goofy guys that you know you're going to get a good workout in. And in my head, they're like almost interchangeable. No offense to people that really, really like either of them. I do enjoy both of their classes, but I feel like they are like pretty similar personalities and like workout vibes. And then they both also do strength. So they all kind of just blend together. But I know if I take a run with either of them, I will like it. And I've taken a lot of outdoor runs with both of them and I've liked those as well. So, you know, just good, solid choice. I know I won't be disappointed if I take with them, but they're not somebody that I like automatically migrate towards when I'm like trying to pick a run for the next day. In number 11, we have Chase Tucker, which is very sad because he has now left Peloton. And honestly, I don't know if it's recency bias that he is lower down because he's not coming out with new classes anymore, because I really like Chase. Like he's a really fun instructor. I think he also has kind of a goofy personality, but he leans a little more towards being serious in my opinion, which is why he edges out like Maddie Magiacomo and Andy Spears in my rankings. But I just know that it'll be a really good workout. He has a really great attitude. He picks out good music, like all around good class, good time, good vibes. It's very, very sad that he left Peloton, but you know, you got to do whatever makes him happy. And then in number 10, we have Robin Arzon. And I definitely struggled where to put her in my ratings because she's another one who I just never open the app and say, you know what, let's take a Robin run. And that's also true for the bike. I like her on the bike as well, but I just don't really choose Robin's classes unless if there's like a reason to do it. And then once I do take a class from her, whether it's because I'm filming a video where I need to take it or like something stuck out to me, I always end it and I'm like, oh my gosh, that class was like the best class I've ever taken. I think that Robin has the most charismatic personality out of all the Peloton instructors on all of the different platforms. Like she is just so charismatic and motivating. And I think that her music choices are just like okay, which is why I don't like naturally lean towards her. But every time I take it, I'm always like surprised, even though it happens every single time I take a ride or a run with her. So she's kind of like in the middle of my rankings, but really it's on me to like start taking more classes from her. I feel like I kind of fell off with her when she went on maternity leave, even though that was a really long time ago. And I just haven't like found my way back, but I definitely need to start prioritizing to take more runs with her because she is a super fun instructor. I think that she can be hard, but she also teaches like easier classes and is pretty good about modifying it. And usually if anybody asks me like, oh, I'm a beginner, like who should I take? I definitely list Robin because I think that she is like something that makes Peloton really special. I just think she's very, very charismatic. Let me know if you also think that Robin is kind of like the most motivated and charismatic instructor, or maybe Robin just really, really speaks to me, because every time I am surprised. Then in number 9, we have Kirsten Ferguson. And I like Kirsten. I feel like this is where it's starting to go to instructors that I like actively choose when I'm looking for a run. Love her personality, love her music choices. I think that she is fun, has a great personality, but you're also going to get the work done. And I would pretty much say that's true about everybody left in my list. And that's very important to me. I feel like she pushes me really hard to my limit, but it's not like overly hard that I'm not having a good time. And then she's smiling the whole time through it. She's kind of like no BS, but sometimes that's what you need. And yeah, I really, really have been enjoying her classes. Number 8 is Matt Wilpers. I love Matt. He definitely has a special place in my heart because I did a ton of Power Zone training with him on the bike. And I just think that he's like such a great guy. His music is definitely a little questionable. I'm not saying that he is good at choosing music. I don't think that he's trying to say that either. Like, I don't think he cares about music at all, basically. But every time I take a run or a ride or really any class with Matt, I know I'm going to learn something technical. And I feel like that's pretty unique to Matt, especially on the tread. Like some of the other bikers, especially the Power Zone trainers, like definitely try to give you technical advice. But even on the tread, Matt is telling you and teaching you about fitness, which I always appreciate. Like I don't always want that. You have to be in the mood for it, but it's cool to like do a run, feel like you got a really good workout in, and also like learn something new about fitness or about your body. And I just feel like his runs are always structured very well. Like he usually tells you at the beginning of class what's on the schedule, which I always appreciate. I like to know. And I just feel like his classes are very organized. They're not going to be like overly hard, but they will challenge you. So really, really like Matt Wilpers. He's just a sweetheart. Then in number 7, we have Marcel Dinkins. And I hadn't taken a class by Marcel until a couple months ago. And I believe it was her Veterans Day run that I took when I was doing like the top rated class by every instructor on Peloton. And she just completely blew me out of the water. Like I thought that she put so much effort into that run. It left a very good impression on me. And like, if you're just looking for run recommendations, highly, highly recommend her Veterans Day run. But since then I've taken other runs by her, and I feel like her passion for exercise like shines through all of them. She definitely puts a lot of thought into her workouts. I really like her music choices. Again, I think she has a really great and fun personality. She's also like pretty no BS. You're still gonna get a very good workout in. I just like everything about her. She really like came out of nowhere for me. She was not on my radar. I don't see a lot of people talking about her, but I think she's pretty underhyped. I think she's pretty great. So if you haven't tried her out, I would highly, highly recommend. I'm also going to group numbers 5 and 6 together because they're pretty similar in my head. Number 5 is Jermaine Johnson. Number 6 is Adrian Williams. I think that these are kind of like my favorite instructors that are like the guys that are fun and goofy, but also like work hard. I kind of group them in my head with like Andy Spear and like Matty Majacomo as well. But I think that they edge them out because they have like slightly better game plans. I feel like their classes are a little more structured. I also think Jermaine Johnson has such a radiant personality. I don't even know how to describe it, but I feel like he's one of the happiest instructors. Like every time I take a class with him, I am smiling. And Jermaine Johnson is pretty new to Peloton. He joined this year, but I think that he was a great pick by Peloton. And just the fact that he's so high up on my list, even though he joined so recently, is just like a testament to how positive and how great his classes are, that he can like beat out people. And Adrian Williams also has a special place in my heart. I really enjoy his classes. He's never led me astray. I'd say I have like 0 misses with him. Like every class I take, I enjoy. Really like his music choices, great personality, always makes me feel like I can do like whatever he calls out, which also feels good, very motivating. So really, really like both of those guys. Then into my top 4, which was very hard to order them. I really, really love all these 4 instructors. Number 4 is Jess Sims. Jess Sims always has a special place in my heart. She is going to kick my ass and I'm going to enjoy it. She's definitely very tough, but she also has just a phenomenal personality. She's going to motivate you to get through it. She's going to be telling jokes. She's going to be telling stories. It's just going to be a really good time, and she definitely pushes you to be her best. I also feel like I like Jess Sims because she does so much cross training. Like, she does the bike boot camp, she does strength classes, and I feel like she's the most consistent instructor between all of the cross training endeavors she does. Like, she brings 100% to like every single class that she teaches, in my opinion. So it makes for really good classes. And then it's also nice to like have an instructor that I highly enjoy, and she teaches like a bunch of different classes on Peloton. So 10 out of 10, really, really love Jess. Number 3 is John Hostling, and he's also kind of a new instructor introduced to me when I was doing the top rated runs on Peloton, and he is great. The first run that I took from him, he was like all business, and we just got a super, super good workout in. And then when I took the hardest rated run by him, it was really funny. Like, when I took the top rated run, all of y'all were like, oh, he's not actually that serious. Like, he's really goofy. He's like Bradley Rose on the bike. And I was like, what? Like, that was not the vibe I got from his first run, because we were like working it. Like, he had a good personality, but like he wasn't cracking jokes. But on more recent runs that I've taken from him, I definitely have seen like his goofier side. And I love that. Bradley Rose is one of my faves on the bike. I love a good goofy attitude while also like working us hard. Like, if you can give me a really good workout but have me smiling all the way through it, that is like what makes you an amazing instructor in my mind. So have really been enjoying taking John's classes. Also feel like he's very underhyped. Like, everybody talks about Jess Sims, right? Like, I love her, she's great, but everybody loves her. John, I feel like doesn't get as much hype. I just feel like tread instructors in general don't get as much hype, but this is your sign. If you haven't taken a John class yet, what are you waiting for? Go end this video now and go take it. Number 2 is my man, Daniel McKenna. I love Daniel. I think that he is also very goofy, but also is going to work you so hard. I definitely gravitate towards like more hard instructors in my opinion, except for Olivia Amato. She's just too hard. But I feel like all the top instructors are pretty hard, but they also let you know that like you can modify and like you don't feel bad if you're gonna modify. But absolutely love Daniel. He's definitely going to be super, super hard. He's one of my favorite on the strength classes. If people ask me for recommendations on who to take, I always recommend Daniel. He has really great music choices. He plays a ton of EDM, and then his personality is just so funny and goofy. I know I'll always work really hard, but also have a really good time with him. And then music is perfect. Like, he is a really great instructor. And then my number 1 favorite instructor is Bex Gentry. I absolutely love Bex. In my opinion, she gives very much like girl talk vibes. It literally feels like I'm running with like my best friend. Gotta love that parasocial relationship. She's definitely hard. She runs marathons for fun and like ultras and is a crazy runner. She went to the Olympic trials, I believe. Like, she definitely has the credentials, but she can make it seem like it's just not that daunting, especially for high mileage runs, which I appreciate. Like, I feel like she acknowledges that it's hard, but then it's like, okay, we're gonna do this. And then the whole time she's just talking to you. She really like distracts me from the running, and you just get into a good pace with her. She keeps things lively, even though she does a lot of like intervals runs, which I feel like, you know, aren't the easiest runs to do because you're typically just running an interval for like 3 to 5 minutes and nothing's changing. So it can get really boring, but Bex does a really good job of just like talking you through it, and it passes by so quickly. Also on the outdoor side, I've talked about this run before on my channel, but she does this run that's like a 45-minute Women's History Month run where she talks about like the first woman trying to run the Boston Marathon. And it's just like an incredible story. And that was my comfort run for like 4 months. Like, I was doing that run like once a week. I just absolutely love Bex. I love her storytelling. I love like everything about her. If you haven't taken a Bex run, I highly, highly, highly recommend. I absolutely love her. Also, her music choices are good. I feel like music used to be like more important to me. Like, when I was just starting to ride on the Peloton, I'd literally go through like all the playlists, and if I didn't know like 85% of the songs, I didn't want to take the class. I definitely don't feel that way now, which is kind of interesting, but I feel like a good playlist can make a class go from like good to fantastic, and it's hard to have a fantastic class without a good playlist. So I will take classes where I don't even know any of the music, but unless if the music is super good, I'm probably not going to be like, oh my gosh, that was absolutely amazing. So it always helps that like my top instructors also kind of align with music, especially for running. I heavily lean towards running to EDM or rap. I really like a really heavy beat to hit and like get into stride with. So that was my entire ratings. Definitely let me know who your favorites are, who your least favorites are. The last time I did a video, someone commented and was like, our lists are literally completely reversed, which I think is like the funniest thing ever. And it is the beauty of Peloton that everybody can enjoy different instructors. And obviously they're all really, really good at the end of the day, because to become a Peloton instructor, it seems like they train for several months, like before they even like come onto the camera. And they also have a very hard selection process. Like they're definitely qualified. So definitely let me know who your faves are, who your least faves are. And that's pretty much all I have for this video. So I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.